what we've been doing here to Denise is basically right now she's wearing a one-length bob, and we're going to try to get into a new look, something that's more easier for her to maintain and take care of. And as you can see here, she has the ends of a perm. So what we're going to be doing is releasing some of this weight so she could have some fullness afterwards. We'll still be keeping the basic line down here as far as the bob haircut, but we're going to be releasing the hair so she has more fullness and more texture to the hair, more volume. We're going to be channel cutting the top to give her fullness, and what channel cutting does is it eliminates some of the hair into the top section to give her some fullness. And the channel cutting does is that these longer hairs that she has will be supported by the shorter hairs that are going to be cutting shorter into the section. One section will be shorter, one section will be longer, shorter, longer, shorter. And what that will do is it'll support the longer hairs to stand up and give her more fullness. At the same time, while I release the back of her hair, it'll be getting rid of some of this damaged ends that she has from the perm and the weave that we have given her before. And she'll just have a total new look for the 80s, something more softer and fuller for a more modern look instead of the basic one-length bob that we have seen in the early 80s and late 70s. So what we're going to do right now is shampoo her hair with Nifa shampoo, which is for chemically treated hair. What that does is a very gentle shampoo you could use for tinted hair, permed hair, straightened hair, anytime you have any kind of damage on the hair. And that's just a very gentle pH balanced shampoo. And after we shampoo her, we're going to condition her with Replace, which is a hair moisturizing conditioner. And as you can see, she needs some moisture at the ends of her hair, so we're going to put a little more hair moisturizer at the ends of the hair and let it sit in for 5 minutes, and then we'll proceed with the haircut.
Liz, and I work at Frank's Hair Salon. Okay, this is my model, Christy. What she wants in her hair is a weave because she thinks her hair is real dark. So we're going to do a real light weave to look, we want it to look natural. Okay, what I'm going to be using on her is a very light blonde, and I'm going to be using bleach. Okay, I'm going to be sectioning her hair.
Was this building class or what?
Okay, I'm going to start the weave in the back. I'm going to be wetting the hair a little bit. It'll be easy for me to work. I'm going to be taking real thin sections because we want the weave to look real natural.
have just shampooed Denise's hair, as you can see. We use the Nifa shampoo, as I said earlier, because it is for chemically treated hair. And she does have leftovers of her perm at the ends of her hair, and as you can see, we have weaved blonde highlights into her hair to give her some depth. And Nifa is for chemically treated hair. You could use it on permed hair, tinted hair, straightened hair, or baby fine hair. It's a very gentle shampoo, and it's made by Nifa. It has a lot of fatty, essential oils that you need for dry, brittle hair. And we also use the Replace Conditioner here. This is a hair moisturizer that she definitely needs at the ends of her hair because of the perm that she has. She also, like I said earlier, she has a weave in her hair, which we did with bleach. So some of it tends to have dried out at the ends, so she needs that moisturizer put back in the ends. And the hair moisturizer replaced by KMS is a very good moisturizer. You don't need to use more than just a pea size of the palm of your hands. Rub it in between both palms and spread it through the hair. It's best if you have a wide tooth comb in the shower, that way you can comb it through the hair. And as you can see, it's very easily combed through the hair. Afterwards, you rinse the conditioner out. We're going to proceed with the haircut right now.
Don't move it around.
You're not gonna follow?
No. If I did, I'd be right there.
As I said before, she basically has a one-length haircut right now. She's wearing it in a bob. So what we're going to do is still keep the same basic line as far as the bob line goes, but we're going to be releasing it. So she wants to keep the length of her hair, so we're basically just going to trim the ends off. So I'm taking vertical sections, bringing the hair down. Bending her head forward, combing the hair straight down from where its natural growth is. And I said before, she just wants a very light trim at the bottom of her hair. She wants to keep the length. It's very important to keep the hair very wet while you're pitting the hair. And you just keep bringing down the sections at vertical, keeping her hair coming straight down from the natural growth. So I just took the vertical parting on my left side. Take the same amount of hair from your right side. Combing it straight down from the hair growth. Pinning the hair up and away from the section that you're about to cut. Comb it smoothly so the hair is cut all evenly. Keeping our head, bend it forward so you get that nice bob line at the bottom. Bringing it straight down, cutting it at your guide. So we're now proceeding to take more sections until we bring all the hair down and cut all the length that she wants off at the bottom. Making sure you always comb the hair smoothly to get all those knots out of there before you start cutting. Make sure all the hair is even. Bring it down. Back to your guideline. It's very important for the model to keep her head at the same spot. Bend it forward. That way you get an even I'm gonna go proceed and take down all the hair since it's very thin at the top. We're just gonna bring it down. Still keeping her head bended forward.
Still weaving her hair, taking real thin sections. And like I said before, I'm using bleach and color because we want the weave to look real natural. We don't want anything drastic. What I'm using right now is bleach. Putting about ½ inch away from the scalp because we don't want the bleach to bleed too much. Okay. Gonna take another section. This time I'm gonna be using color. As you can see, the sections are real thin.
Denise, we have finished the bob line in the back, as you can see. It's all brought down. And we took about ½ inch off. As I said earlier, she wants to keep the length in the hair. But keep in mind, that's basically the only bob line we're gonna still keep of the early 80s. We're gonna release the whole top section to give her fullness at the crown and on the top of her head. We have just took sections right from behind the ear, parted the hair, taking the section all the way around to the other side, also parting the hair right behind the ears. We're going to release some of the weight on top to give her some fullness on the top section. We're going to use her bang area as a guideline. What I usually do, take partings from the corner of her eyes on both sides, and using that as my guide, bringing that straight down and using the bridge of her nose. And that's basically a good area to use your guideline because it does shrink up the hair. We're going to take our first guideline section here, the bridge of the nose, cut straight across. Don't have to use too much tension, just bring it down, cut. Now this will be my guideline for the top section of her head. I take horizontal partings, bring it straight up from the head, from her natural hair growth line, using the guide of my front, as you can see right there, and trimming the excess off right into there. Taking another horizontal parting, bringing that straight up, using my guideline again, right in there, from the guideline that we set up in front, and releasing the weight. We're going to proceed taking horizontal partings on the right side of the head and the left side, bringing it all up to the top, and releasing the weight.
Already finished the middle part in the back. I usually do the back first because it's more resistant and it takes long to process. I'm going to be doing the sides now. I'm going to be wetting a little bit. It will be easy for me to work. Okay, what I'm using in the hair is it's B-Color B, and it's from Easy Color. It's bleach. And the color that I'm using, it's from Easy also. and the sides, the foil. Okay. I'm going to be starting with bleach. Remember, always apply the bleach or color away from the scalp. Right now I'm taking about an inch sections. Taking always small sections. I'm going to apply the color.
I can explain this side because of action.
Okay.
Now, after we have taken our guide, pulled everything up to the top of the head, and released the weight that we wanted to give her a release bob, we're now going to shape this hair, carve it out to her face, still keeping the length at the bottom so it blends in with the bob line in the back. What we're going to do this is by still keeping this section from right behind the ear into here, combing everything forward. I took in somewhat of a pie section from the corner of her eyebrow going towards my sectioning of the back of the ear, pulling everything directly down. And using the face as support for my guideline, coming around, heading downwards, just basically almost sliding the shear downwards, keeping the length at the bottom. You could basically comb it down onto the face and carve it out. What this will do is give her extra support so when she combs her hair back, she has the shorter hairs in through this area supporting the longer hairs. So it gives her a brushed back, fuller look away from the face, not that dragged down early 80s look where it was basically all one length pressed down against the face. We want fullness and away from the face. So that will give me the shorter hairs in through the front area of the face, supporting the longer hairs. Cut Denise's hair, releasing the weight in the back. As you can see, this is all basically all one length in the back. It's getting much too heavy for her, and it's giving her the bob look of the 70s, which we're trying to break away from. We're trying to get a lot of more volume, so we have more versatility with the hair this way. If she wants, she could let her hair dry natural, or she could blow dry it still straight because the layers won't be shorting that short that she won't be able to do other styles to it, or she could set her hair. What we're doing is taking vertical partings of the back of her hair starting at the crown, using the occipital bone as my guideline, bringing the hair straight up from where it's growing, using the bottom as my guideline, cutting at a 45, coming downwards, so that way I'm leaving the longer length at the end of the hair. Always directing your fingers up and away up at a 45. And blending it into your guideline at the top of her head. It's very important to keep the fingers angled up, and as you can see, it's all blended in right with the front guideline right into there. We'll be taking these sections all from this middle of her crown area towards the right ear and also to the left ear. And proceed now, taking the sections and releasing the weight. Keeping the hair very wet is very important, so you get an even haircut all the way around. Again, pointing my fingers out, up and away at a 45 degree 90-degree angle using my guideline from the previous section. And once again, blending it in right to the front area. As you can see, it's blended in right into there. Still keeping the length, as you can see right here, from the occipital bone, which is still carrying on to the bob line at the bottom. We're going to proceed doing this to the whole entire section of the crown area. And when you come back, we'll show you how to blow dry out the style.
Okay, I'm finishing the left side, and I'm going to be bending the side of the foil, as you can see. Okay, I'm going to be working on the right side right now. Blending the hair. Section this off. Starting at the bottom. And bleach, closing the foil. Okay, remember not to touch the scalp with the bleach, because it's going to irritate the scalp. Taking small sections.
Yeah, that's right.
Now I'm going to apply the color.
Joe?
Okay, as you can see, we're still taking the partings at the crown, still keeping our fingers directed at the 45. This basically was my last section.
Like where?
Just going over it to see if everything's blended into the front area. Combing it through, making sure to get all that hair out, the hair. And as you can see, if we comb it down smoothly, you'd still have that bob line at the bottom, but it's all released. That's by taking a section here of the hair to demonstrate. It's all released, it's all layered, as you can see. But still having that same bob line to give her that weight at the bottom that she wants. We're now going to proceed to blow dry the hair. I'm going to proceed to style her hair. So what I'm doing is I'm getting some sculpture lotion from KMS. This is a great, excuse me, utensils for using onto the hair to give it the different styles that we might try to achieve. This is very good for achieving a wet look, or for sculpturing hair if you want a real full volume look. What you do is just pour a little bit in the palm of your hands. What I usually do is set this in the client's hands so they can read the ingredients that are in the product. That way they know themselves what's in there. I usually tell them to put a little bit in the dab of their hand. That way they can get the feel of it. What I'm doing now is working it into the hair, basically trying to get the ends of the hair which need that moisture. And the sculpture lotion is really good because it puts a lot of moisture into the ends of the hair. It gives it a lot of fluff. and just working it in through the hair. Just shaking it all up. Work it into the hair. Get it down there into the root so it gives you a base. Never be scared to shake it into the hair. The client will love the look afterwards. And I'm going to use just a touch more. Her hair is a little longer, so you might need to use a little more. Just put it in the palm of your hand again. Hold the client, hold the bottle for you. Work it into the hair. The front of the hair. Always putting it into the base of the hair, going from the root out. That way you get volume at the bottom of the hair. And we want volume, that's why we release this hair into a release bob. Sculpture motion on her hair. I've worked it thoroughly into the hair. She's had a chance to read the ingredients. She's felt it in her hands. She knows it's not oily, it's not heavy, and it's going to give her a really sculpture look. Adds a lot of fullness to the hair, but yet maintains a lot of moisture at the ends of the hair where she needs it. From what we said earlier, she had a perm about 6 months ago, so she still has a little at the ends. This is really great for keeping those perms alive, feeling natural, putting it at the ends of the hair, working it through the rest of the hair. We're now going to proceed to blow dry the hair.
Okay, I'm still working on the right side of the hair. Applying the bleach.
See it film, right? I just kind of go over there.
And you wet the hair a little bit more.
Sculpture motion into her hair. Bending her over to get that fullness, working it thoroughly into the hair, getting at the ends of the hair. And having her sit back up, throwing her hair backwards. Okay. Now that we worked all the sculpture motion into the hair, we're going to proceed to dry it. We're going to start with a low temperature setting, just to remove the moisture from the hair. Working it with the fingers, you get more volume from the hair. Especially with Denise's textured hair, she has a very fine textured hair. So we basically just started at a very low heat, drying, working it in with our fingers, starting at the base of the hair, pulling upward, setting in a base for our shape. We've gone to a little higher setting now that we've got most of the moisture out of the front of her hair. Just sculpturing the hair a little bit, pushing it up and away from the face. And as you can see, there's our carving, folding the hair up. The shorter hairs are supporting the longer hairs down here, keeping the hair up and away from the face. Just working it with your fingers, pushing it up, starting at the base of the hair, pulling upward, setting that base in. And as you can see, we're getting a lot of fullness. That's due partially to the sculpture motion that we've used from KMS and also from the release haircut that we have given her. I'm going to go to the other side now and proceed with the same thing. Starting with the same motion, starting at a low heat because there's still moisture in the hair. Starting at the root of the hair, working upwards, holding it with the fingers, bringing it up and away from the scalp. And you can see the sculptural motion leaves no sticky film or anything. You could run your fingers right through that hair without any problem, but yet still getting the effect of the fullness that you want. Again, I'm going up and away from the face on the sides. Starting at low heat, getting the moisture out of the hair. And when I want to start sculpturing a little bit in the top, in the front section into the hair, I just set it into a little higher speed level. Hold it in with my fingers in the sides, bringing it up and away from the face. And again, you see the shorter hairs into the hair supporting the longer hairs. Always moving your fingers around and always moving the blow dry around. Making sure not to over dry the hair out. We're going to the back now. We're going back to a low setting. I basically start blow drying the bottom first to give me a base, up, full, just start at a very low heat. Scrunch the hair. Scrunching, what I mean is grabbing the hair where you're blow drying it, squeezing it tight, making a fist in there, and that'll liven up that perm she has still at the ends. With the help of the sculpture lotion, as you can see, it just lifts that perm right into shape again. Even though she just has very little perm, that sculpture lotion pops that hair up again. Using the scrunching method, heat up the hair, make a fist, scrunch that hair in there, let it cool down a little bit, releasing, gives you that curly look again from the perm she had. Starting at the base, just removing most of the moisture out of the hair. And you can see the sculpture lotion gives the ends of her hair a much healthier look than that dry, real brittle look. It just puts moisture into that bleached hair. Still scrunching the hair, grabbing it, making a fist, heating it up in there, letting it cool down a little bit, and releasing. This style by just smoothing the top out a little bit with a bent brush. You can go into a low heating just to mold that hair into place. Still going up and away from the face. And as you can see, we still have that bob line at the bottom. You can see the release that we got from releasing her hair instead of that one length. Now, as I said earlier, we haven't given her a perm in about maybe 6 months. We use a sculpture lotion, which kick that curl back in there, as you can see. And we still have that bob line at the bottom. Finish the style now, and we're setting it into place with Spritz Forte, which is a very good setting, styling, very light mist spray. What's good about this is that you can comb it through the hair again and shape it up into a different style if you like. It's very light. And as you can see, what a great curl we got. I mean, we have not permed this young lady's hair for at least 6 months, and that sculpture lotion really adds a lot of body and fullness. And with the technique that I was showing you with the scrunching the hair, making a fist into the hair, heating that up, letting it go, releasing and cooling it off, it will give you this fullness. You still see the bob line at the bottom. But as you can see, we have a more uniform look now. It's more sculptured, more fuller, getting into a more modern bob look. This is our sides where we've carved it out. We have the shorter hair in through the front area of the face, holding and supporting the longer hairs up and away from the face. We whisked this out a little bit just to give her a little daintiness around the face. We sprayed a little bit of spritz up and away from the face, molded it, shaped the front of the hair just lightly with the fingers, and just used a little bit of Spritz Forte, this light mist spray here, and just picked it out, making it real soft looking around the face. And you can see the finished product now. And now she's ready to go out into a modern world with a nice haircut. Thank you very much. Oh my God.
Frank's One Hair Salon. That is the main entrance in the mall. And we've been here since the mall opened up. That's Joe coming out. And his model. Denise.
Salon we did it at. The finished product. Line, please, pull in. Thank you very much. Hope to see you back at Frank's.
that was Joe, the hairstylist that did Denise. They really did a bit of a job on her. And this is the products that we're carrying at Frank's One.
You knew right away what Emma was talking about.
Who are you working for, Frank?
Hmm?
Who are you working for? The Warner Brothers? This is what they call a Plaza. Yeah. Huh? Let me put some towel. Put some towel. Just that towel will get taken from you. No, I'm gonna put it right there.
The hair, the Vita shampoo is not going to have heated hair. This is good for heated hair. Now she has color. And a moisturizer with Replace. It's a moisturizing. Now is styling gel. That's also from KMS. Use on the side. On the roots. Work it through the hair. Okay, work it real good. Okay, now I'm going to blow dry it.
What she's doing now is she's drying the hair.
As I said before, I did a weave. I applied bleach. I applied color. But you wanted the weave to look real natural. Okay, I'm gonna bring the hair forward because I want a lot of fullness. Okay, push the sides back. Okay. You can see the weave looks real natural. You can see in the back she has a lot of fullness. Want a lot of fullness on top. Okay, as you can see the weave on the back. Looks real natural. So that's what we wanted it.
Got another job.
These up here.
I wasn't able to get in there, so got out of hand.
Okay, I'm gonna spray it with the spreads.
Bring it in all the way. Just so I like the top of my ears covered. About 2 months too long.
It's been first and it's like I'm about 9 weeks after. It's about 9 weeks.
About reasonably short.
We had to see her. She lost a little bit of weight,
Just so
and we got her a really nice, really pretty sweater with Angora and lamb wool. I think we spent the most on her than we did on anybody else. And we got her some earrings, and she rose to
That's right. We're going to the same guy for about 17 years now. He decided he'd rather do something else besides cut hair. Yeah. That's usual.
Say what you did, final.
Okay, what I did on her was a weave, like I said before. Her hair, she thought her hair was too dark and wouldn't want to put anything, wouldn't want to change too much. With the weave, it looks real natural, and it looks like she's got the highlights from the sun. And I said I took a real small section. I used bleach and color. And what we're going to do on her is next time when she comes back, we have to retouch the roots. Remember, always stay away from the scalp because it's going to irritate the scalp. And it's going to, the color's going to bleed, it's going to go on top of the other hair, and it's not going to look real natural. It's going to look like she has color on her hair.
Okay.
My name is Annette and I work here at Frank's Hair Salon, and this is my assistant Danny, who'll be helping me today. And this is my model Trisha. And Trisha has already been pre-cut. What we probably will do is go ahead and filter just a tiny bit more. What we're going to do is give her a root perm up in her hair so we can give her a little bit more fullness onto the crown area. And then while we're giving her the root perm, we're going to have a second process. What we're going to do is I'd say about the last inch of her hair, we're going to weave it and highlight it with some blonde, so that way it'll kind of stand out as it comes forward towards your face. And so Danny's going to go ahead and get her started, and we'll explain the process. Okay, her name is Stephanie, and she's one of my clients, and she was here last week, and I already pre-cut her hair last week. And I decided what I want to do, she also has been highlighted. She's been highlighted for a couple of months. What I want to do is emphasize this cut a little bit more by really bleaching out this front part, the front twist part, really light, and maybe up in through here. And then I might go ahead again and release just a little bit more weight, so she can get a little bit more fullness out of it. And she has a little bit of natural curling, so that way that will kind of give her a little added fullness.
Did you see the Camus products? That's what we use for all our clients. It's one of the better products that we've had. We're very, very happy with this product. Hair Salon, which is located next to Bullock's, and we're in the process of getting the models ready so that we can start filming. Both salons were very fortunate that
What I'm doing is I'm not taking so small sections like I did before. Before, when I first weaved her, I want it to look really natural. But for this kind of a cut, I want the sides to really stand out and look unnatural, so therefore I'm taking larger sections.
Here is weaving some highlights into this young lady's hair. She's using the D-color bead from Misi Hair Color. What it is a bleach that contains some oil base. So what the oil base does, it puts oils into the hair so it doesn't dry out the hair like the normal bleach would. This bleach works with the Misi peroxide, which also has oils put into the peroxide to put nutrition into the hair. And she's taking thin sections right now on the model. She's weaving little highlights into the hair. As you can see, the model already has some highlights in the hair. And what Annette's doing here is that she's taking smaller sections and weaving straight bleach into the hair without using a toner afterwards, because she wants a real striking blonde look afterwards.
You want to explain what you're doing out there?
What I'm doing is putting some mascara on right now. This is real hard to do.
Started on the left side of the head now. She's still taking small sections, weaving in and out of the hair to achieve a real natural look. She's taking 45-degree angle parting. What she wants to do is highlight the front part of the head to give her an illusion of depth and height also. And you can see she has a bob cut in the back. The hair has been already weaved slightly with the high lift tint also by Misi. And the front area, like I said, is going to be all bleached down, small sections, and she's not going to be putting a toner on it. She wants a really highlight effect of the front area. Most of the people here at Frank's 2 and Frank's 1 hair salon, they've been going to Misi classes now for the past 2 to 3 years to keep on top of all the new styles that are coming out as far as hair coloring goes. The hair coloring that we use here in the salon is also by Misi. And it's a very safe color. It lasts on the hair a little longer than the normal color that's out on the market. The reason being is it's not very high in ammonia or peroxide, and it just has a longer life on the hair, and it's not damaged.
Hi, my name's Rick. This is my model Annette. What we'll be doing is we'll be highlighting her hair, the whole top up here, leaving all the back dark. All this. It's been pre-cut already. We'll be giving her like a little bit more of a summer look by using a high lift bleach. It's by Misi. It's B-colored bead, and it's gonna give her
This is Annette's second model, and what Annette's doing here is she's just taking a parting right behind the ear, taking across to the other side, right behind the ear also. And this young lady has a layer haircut. And what Annette is trying to achieve here is a little more fullness in the front area. So what she is doing is she's giving her a root perm. she's leaving the ends of the hair out of the perm rod and just perming the ends of the hair at the bottom. What she's doing is she's taking the wide rod size, picking up the hair directly from where it grows and wrapping just the root of the hair. As you can see what she's doing here. She's leaving that out. These parts are out in the ends of the hair. She's going to be bleaching at the end. After she neutralizes the hair, she's going to keep the rods on the hair, and these hairs that are out, sticking out here at the end, she's going to put bleach on them and highlight them. So that's going to give a highlight just towards the end of the hair, so when at the end of the product, when she finishes blow drying the hair out, she'll have a real fullness and real blonde highlights at the end of the hair. She's going to be doing the top section and a few here in the side. Thank you.
What we're doing right now is we're just weaving it from the back all the way to the front. Going to the back's a little harder to tape. And we're just going to try to get it all weaved real fine sections so that we can get a real natural look.
Annette still continuing wrapping the hair, still using the white rods in the top section, and she's, as you can see, leaving the ends of the hair outwards to give her just fullness at the bottom of the hair. The straws that you see here on the hair are to keep the rods in place so they won't be moving around. She's not using any end papers. It's not necessary to use any end papers, as you're just wrapping the root of the hair, and it stays pretty secure once you put these little straw things in them. Prior to perming her hair here, doing the root perm, she shampooed her hair with Nipa shampoo, and the Nipa shampoo is essential for chemically treated hair, whether it be permed, highlighted, or let's say she ran a straightener through her hair because she had a natural wave in her hair. You would use Nipa shampoo. What Nipa shampoo has is essential fatty oils, which put nutrients into the hair. So she used this because her model has a little bit of a perm just at the tips of the hair. So anytime you have chemically processed hair, you want to use Nipa. It's very, very good. It puts natural oils into your hair, and it doesn't strip the hair from any of its natural oil. With the Nipa shampoo, she used Finish conditioner. And what Finish does, it's a medication remover and a detangler. If you have any type of medication on the hair, whether it be a form of aspirin, or you're taking medication under a doctor's prescription, or, for example, some people drink a lot of coffee and the caffeine affects the hair. Anything that you put into your body, affects your hair, your skin, and your nails. So this is very good for taking out any type of medication you have in the hair. Even, let's say, hairspray buildup, this is very good to strip it off. So anytime you're doing any type of chemical process, whether it be hair color or a perm, you want to get anything that's left on the hair out of there. So when you go in and do your hair color or your perm, as Annette's doing here, you want to make sure you have everything out of the hair, so when you do the service that you're going to do to the client, you know that it's going to take and process right. And that's why she used Finish from KMS.
Middle of the weave here, what we're doing is taking really fine sections, trying not to get too much hair into the foil so that it looks very, very natural. And trying to keep it real airy. What the bleach is going to be doing is be lifting the color almost to a light pale blonde. And we'll be going back and depositing toner, giving it a little bit.
This is Annette's model from earlier, with her doing her weave. We're checking it now to see how far we're in the process of the lifting stage. It's been approximately about 15 minutes, and as you see, we're getting a really good highlight here. And we still have a little more to go. There's no problem on leaving the bleach on. It doesn't dry out because it has an oil base on it. As you can see, it's not cakey, flaky, or anything. And the color is coming up really good. I would say we need about another 10, 15 more minutes, and we'll check it then, and we'll show you again what she's finishing up the root perm. She has done the top section already. She has done the right side, still using the same technique, just wrapping the root of the hair to give it the fullness towards the root, which will expand the hair outward and away from her head. She wants a real full lioness look. That's why we're also, like we said earlier, leaving these strands out the ends of the hair. What she's going to do is process this as a normal perm. She'll put the perm solution on, get her desired shape in there. Afterwards, she will rinse, use a regular procedure of her perm, and then she'll rinse, blot dry, apply the neutralizer, rinse the neutralizer off, and afterwards, still leaving the rods on the hair, she will apply bleach towards the ends of the hair. She will be using D-Color B from Easy Hair Color. And we're going to be getting a highlight effect on the ends of the hair. She's finishing up on the sides here. She's still using the same technique, just wrapping the hair at the root. She just has a few more to do, and she'll be done, and she'll be processing it, and we'll come back to show you the finished effect.
Taking thinner sections of hair so that you can get a little bit more lighter in the front. We're using bleach only to lift it as high as it can go because we want to cut a lot of the red out and leave a lot of blonde. Give it a real beach look. And finally, the sections you take.
A model, and her assistant is now applying the perm solution at the root of the perm, leaving no solution on the ends of the hair that are not being permed. She's going to be processed for about 10 minutes under the dryer, and once we achieve the formation that we're looking for, we're going to rinse her, stop the process, put the neutralizer on, and lock in the new shape of the hair. And after that, we're going to rinse her off, still keeping the rods of her hair. We're going to apply the bleach at the ends of the hair. That way, we're going to achieve the highlights towards the ends of the hair. So we're going to show you right when we're going to put on the neutralizer at what point we're at there. Thank you very much.
It's Carol, my client, and I'm Vivian Webb, and I'm doing a highlighting. We're relieving the natural color out, and we're adding color tones of blonde in between. This gives a really natural effect, and it's very easy to do by just putting I think paper, slice of hair. It's kind of soft because I had to cut her, and that's just. It's not a weaving technique, it's just a little scanning technique. We just put the color right on the regrowth. And these color slips are a lot easier than foil because they just stick together. You just take a little section out.
God, do you ever feel like you have a burn, like when you touch it?
Slightly scan. Real close to the paper.
Under the dryer for approximately about 10 minutes. We let her air oxidize for about 5 minutes, and we checked her, and the curl formation is definitely there. So now what we're doing is they have top blotted it with a little bit of a wet, damp towel to take the perm solution off each rod. And now what the assistant Danny here is doing, he's going onto the ends of the hair that were not permed, and just blotting them off because now she's going to apply the bleach towards the end of the hair. She's going to let the hair air oxidize for about 15-20 minutes, leaving the bleach on the ends of the hair, rinsing the bleach off, and rinsing off the rods again one more time, and then she will be applying the neutralizer and leaving the neutralizer on anywhere from 4 to 5 minutes. And then we're gonna blow dry her out and show you the finished product. Thanks. And he's weaving his model's hair. He's using the decolor B bleach. What he's doing is he's taking small sections right now to give her a natural highlight look that he was talking about earlier. He's taking small sections, weaving the comb in and out to give her a real natural look. He's using the decolor B bleach on her hair for the reason that she has baby fine hair. He doesn't want to have a real dry, brittle look when he's done. So with the decolor B, which is made by Promisi Color, it has natural oils in it. So what it's doing at the same time that it's lifting up, it's also depositing some oils in there so it doesn't dry out the hair and give it that brittle, dried out look. He has, prior to the weave, he had already pre-cut her hair. He had been using the Promisi shampoo, been using regular shampoo on her hair because she has no chemical on her hair beforehand. She was using the cleanse-free shampoo, which is for normal hair. And he's been using just the regular protein rinse on her hair. She has no damage on her hair at all. It's very baby fine hair. So all she needs is just a regular conditioner and shampoo. And she's been using the KMS products. It's very important that you educate your client to the use of professional products, because if you're doing any type of chemical service on their hair, whether it be a perm or whether it be a weave or a total color on their whole entire hair, it's very important that you educate them on the products that they have to use to keep the style that you're giving them up to par. Meaning that if you're styling your client's hair and they go home and they use a store product, regardless what it is, and it's not enhancing the hair, it's going to take away from the hairstyle. So you want to educate your client in using a professional product, and we educate our clients by telling them and showing them the products. As far as KMS is concerned, we show them how to use it and what it. You can see now we've started already putting the bleach at the tips of the hair. You can see right now she just finished putting the bleach at the tip of the hair. She's wrapping the foil in really tight so it won't move anywhere, because you don't have the security as you would be doing the weave and pressing in the foil onto the hairline. What she's doing now, she has already gone through all the tips and put the bleach at the ends, like this one right here, and wrapping it up with foil. What she's doing now, as you see her applying solution, she's putting the neutralizer on the hair, making sure she doesn't get it anywhere near the packets where she has the bleach on. She's just very lightly going on each section, applying the neutralizer at the root of the hair to neutralize the new form of the hair. She'll be leaving the neutralizer on for 5 minutes, rinsing it off, or I should say towel blotting it off with a damp towel, and leaving the packets on for about 15, maybe 20 minutes, and then checking it and rinsing off the tips of the hair. As you can see, she's just using the neutralizer on the root of the hair, just on the rod, very lightly. It's very important not to oversaturate the rod, so that way the perm solution won't run into the packets.
Now we just wait for 5 minutes. She'll be done, and I'll go ahead and trim her just a little bit. I'll go ahead and move her.
Done here. I'll just need one more side. After this, what I'll be doing is I'll be putting her with the dryer for 5 minutes, and then your process like for about 10, just letting her sit there. What we're gonna do is let it get all blonde and lift it. As you can see, it's already changing a little bit the color to a little bit of light blonde. And it's gonna get a little bit more lighter. And when it's really, really blonde, we'll take it all off and we'll wash her.
The client that she weaved up at the front area, as you can see, it took really well. She has a lot of natural highlights. And what Annette is using right now, because we're going to do the finishing product, is she's using sculpturing lotion, which is a great finishing product to use on your client right before you style the hair. What she's doing is she's putting some on the palm of her hands, and she's mixing it up in both palms, and she's running it through the client's hair, starting at the base, working upward. The client has already been pre-cut. So what she's going to do now is style the hair into form. Her client's a full-time student at USC, so she doesn't have very much time to spend in the morning blow drying or setting her hair or using hot rollers. So what she does is she wakes up in the morning, kind of throws on the blow dry at a low heat, starts just fluffing it with her hands, as you see Annette doing. She's already taught her client to do this, and we'll show you the finished product in just a few minutes. It's very essential to always use some type of finishing product right before you style the hair, whether it be the sculpturing lotion by KMS or the styling gel. It gives you a lot of lift, a lot of fullness, and that's what the styles of the 80s need. You want to see a lot of fluffiness, a lot of fullness, a lot of direction, and by getting that direction, you need to use some type of help, and this definitely helps any style, sculpturing lotion. As you can see, she's molding the hair right now. You can see these highlights really coming in. So what Annette's doing now, she's using the blow dryer at low heat, pushing the hair up and away from the face. She wants some wispies to come down, so she is pulling and molding it with her hands. As you can see, she's pushing up, molding the hair to get with that fullness. As you can see, she's just shaking it through, using her fingers with the low heat setting. This is all that the young lady wants to do. She just wants to wake up in the morning, blow dry her hair, and go off to school. She doesn't want to spend a whole lot of time on it. Really good highlights, as you can see. Just what Annette wanted to achieve. It's always good to keep that blow dry moving. Never leave it concentrate on one certain area. Just keep it moving, fluffing it up, moving your fingers around. Your fingers are the essential styling tool of the 80s. Those fingers will do anything for you, especially if you're using the right sculpturing element, whether it be the sculpturing lotion, as I said, or the styling gel like KMS. But you need some type of sculpturing structure to get those styles flowing. Been blow drying it already. She's finished blow drying her client's hair. She's using her finger techniques just all in the upward direction. As you can see in the back, it's just all blow dried up. She has had a stacked type of haircut. What she's done is a graduated bob. We're trying to keep away from that regular 80s bob where it's that one lane drag down bob just hanging there. She's in turn used this, still keeping a one lane here, but releasing it off so she gets fullness up and away from the neckline. And she's used nothing but her fingers, a little bit of hairspray just to mold the hair. Just a touch of curling iron just in the front area just to soften it up a little bit. And as you can see, here's the finished product. The highlighting area in the front to give it that depth look. A wispier effect to soften up the front area of her face. And all this, as you see here, was done with the fingers and sculpturing lotion. Just all blow dried with the soft heat. As you can see, it's not a sticky or anything effect. It's just real free. You can run your fingers through and it keeps the shape.
A big smile when you
Okay, we're back with the next client. This is the client that she did the root perm. As you can see, she still has a wave pattern in her hair. What she's doing now is she took a pie section from the crown area towards the corner of both eyes, She took the parting, and what she's going to do now is she's going to soften up the hair around the front area. What she's going to do is fringe it out, wisp it, to soften it up at the face. She's taking 45-degree partings on the side of the head, pulling it straight down from where it grows towards the face, cutting it also at a 45-degree angle. As you can see, she's also, at the same time she's cutting at the 45-degree angle, she's cutting into the hair also to soften up the hair. That will give her a wispy, really French look. She's taking another 45-degree angle parting, pulling that hair straight down, using her guideline from the previous cut, going into the hair, cutting, still going up at a 45-degree angle, but cutting into the hair, notching the hair, so she gets that French look at the front. And angling her fingers at a 45-degree angle as she is doing, she still loses no length at the bottom of the hair. It blends in very well with the style. She's proceeding to go to the other side of the head, still taking the same angles. She's taking a 45-degree parting from the corner of the head towards the ear. She's re-wetting the hair. It's very important to keep the hair very saturated so you get an even cut all around. She's pulling down the hair from her 45-degree angle, cutting upward at a 45, using a notching technique that will give her that wispy, Frenchy look around the face. She's checking both sides. It's not so important in a haircut like this to have it exactly precise, since she is getting a real Frenchy look. She's going to be having both sides coming wispy towards the face. So for this effect, you don't really want to be directly 100% precise. As long as it's evened out and both sides at the end of the hair are the same length. She's taking another 45-degree angle parting, bringing the hair straight down from the parting towards her guideline, going back into cutting at a 45-degree angle using the notching technique. She's combing the hair back, checking the haircut out, seeing which way the hair is flowing, seeing where she needs to release the hair more. With this haircut, you don't necessarily need any type of part. You could section it anywhere you want, whether blow drying it from one side to the other or going the opposite side. Annette's concerned for her client because her client likes a lot of fullness, so she's giving her a release cut. As you can see, she's taking partings from the 45-degree angle that she's cutting, taking that same pie section and just releasing some of the weight away. she's cutting the hair, releasing it around the front area. As you can see, it's nice and wispy towards the front area of the face. She's used some sculpture lotion on the hair to give it some lift. She's just going to blow dry it with her fingers again, using upward direction to give her fullness. She's still using a rotating technique, blow drying the hair upward and away from the face. She's used some sculpture lotion. She put she cupped her hand, put it in the center of her hand, mixed it in both palms, and ran it through her hair. She had her client bend over, run it through the bottom of her hair, and now she's just using her fingers to blow dry it out. She's blow drying everything in an upward direction using only her fingers. It's very rare that you use any brushes with these newer styles, not unless just to soften up the fringe in the front. Basically what we try to do is make it very easy for the client to go home and style the hair. And with the products that the clients are using now, as far as the styling gel goes, the sculpture lotion, and the shampoos, it's much easier for the client to style their hair. As you can see, some of the highlight at the ends of the hair where she had applied the bleach at, it's really coming up nice. She's using the front area, she's using the brush right now to give her that little extra molding, because the client says that she doesn't know how to use the curling iron at home. She feels awkward using the curling iron, so she went ahead and suggested using the bent brush in the front area to mold the hair. And it's easier to mold the hair because she did add the sculpture lotion to her hair, so she really won't need the use of a curling iron. I had said earlier that she was just going to go ahead and use the technique of blow drying the hair with just her fingers. Her client had just told her that she likes a little more body towards the front area and she doesn't like using a curling iron. So Annette had suggested to her that she could go ahead and use a big bristle bent brush to achieve that fullness that she's trying to strive for in the front. So she's doing the same method, just blow drying everything upward in an upward direction. She's just done it all with her fingers, using the sculpture lotion as she was blow drying, and now she's finishing the look up with just a little bit of hairspray, just fingering it, pushing it up with her fingers. And she did soften it up a little bit earlier with the brush up around the face, blow drying everything up, but there is no curling iron on the whole entire head. And as you can see in the back area, she just fluffed it up using her fingers, using a scrunching effect, spraying it and scrunching it and letting it go down by itself. It gives her that real wild fullness look. That root perm really shot up the front area of the hair. As you can see, she has a lot of fullness in through this area, but yet there's real no definite curl. It just sprouted the hair up, and you can see the natural little highlights that she wanted just at the tips of the hair, if you could see this. That's a beautiful look. What do you think?
Looks nice. Again, another clap.
And you could look like this if you come in
Do I
and
just
visit us.
move together now?
That is so cute. They did a great job on his model.
Big line in there.
done, taking all the foil off, and you've got a real high lift color up here in the front. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut the back, tape it really short. It's already been pre-cut before, but all we're going to do is just tape it a little bit higher, give it a little bit more volume.
My mom does. Try to be a good girl. No, it's okay.
Cutting like this gives you a little bit more of a little bit more airy type thing where you don't see too many lines. You just see a lot of soft, easy hair coming down real close to the neck. Fizz from Sebastian with her hair to give it a lot of lift and a lot of body. The fizz from Sebastian is a little bit thicker than most mousses. It's real good for a lot of spiking, a lot of fullness, a lot of just standing up. You cut the hair real short back here, just real tapered. And right now, as soon as you get done blow drying it, you'll see the finished look. Thanks.
Yeah.
As you can see, you can start seeing a lot of the highlights as they dry a little bit more. We also cut into the hair to give it a little bit more of a airy look, a little bit more of a texture, that fullness and a lot of body. out. All we're doing is lifting it up, playing with the hair a little bit, giving it a little bit more fullness. Adding a little bit more to the base. As you can see that the weaving and the highlighting come out really light, making her a little bit more lighter. Leaving all the bottom down here real dark. Giving a little bit more lift, just using your hands. Giving her that finish line. Thank you. What is this?
Now this hair design was done by Mr.